If you've ever wanted to be an actor, but you are never sure if you are good enough to make it, this is for you. In describing his ideal society, Socrates spoke of a tale, a magnificent myth that the people will be told. And the idea behind this myth was that there would be different classes of people in this society that he described. And the question that I have been considering is why that society that is divided into different classes, different entitlements, why it must be founded on a myth, a noble lie, as some commentators have come to describe it. And my thoughts on it are that the reason it had to be a lie is that is one of two ways in which you can get or persuade the majority to accept that some will have more than others in this society. The other way is force. But if ever you have a situation where there are few, a minority, who would want to benefit at the expense of the many, you have to tell a lie or you have to use force. Between the two, the lie is easier. Force requires person applying the force to make themselves known. It would have to be apparent to everyone that they are imposing their will on those who will be the have-nots. The lie is more malleable. The lie allows those who are seeking, those who are the minority, to enjoy the benefits of being the minority without it being so obvious as to what they are doing. And the question is, why can that society be founded on the truth? Is it that the truth is something that the general population would never accept? But then why did they accept the lie? Or do people want to be lied to? Thomas Sowell said once that those who want to help others tell them the truth, but those who want to help themselves tell others what they want to hear. So if we accept that there is a lie underpinning the way society today, society in the past, have been set up, with the minority exploiting the majority, is there an element within all that means on some level the majority want to be lied to? Is it easier in some way? Is it less effort? Does it mean not taking accountability for what you are and what you have, if it can be readily explained by some predetermined fate that you can do nothing about? If that is a lie that the minority are imposing on the majority and is willingly accepted, then that's a lack of accountability on the part of the majority. And how did they know that? How did the minority know that a tale, a myth, a story could be told so compelling that a majority would accept it? What is it about human nature that allowed this to happen? And how is it that men as far back as Socrates were able to identify that as part of human nature? And since then, it seems to me there have been variations on this founding principle. All through history, stories have been told in various guises, whether it's in religious terms or in different economic systems, capitalism being one. And the root of it, if you think about it, in Socrates' myth, in his tale, he uses three metals: gold, silver and bronze, which a lot of us may recognize from Olympic contests, signifying tiers of achievement. But there's also a promise in there, in that stratified society, that it is possible to move from the lowest tier to the top. Equally, it is possible to move down. And that upward mobility is a story that has been told in many societies, and I think will be most familiar to people who have followed the American dream. So it had to be in there. It wasn't enough to say that there's predetermined tiers in society. You will fit into one of them. No, there has to be some kind of hope for achievement. There has to be that possibility that someone could rise from bronze to gold. But someone has to decide that. In Socrates, in Plato's Republic, there would be a tier of guardians who would determine that. Gatekeepers. What is interesting is the lie, the noble lie, the magnificent myth would be accepted by everybody. And as some people are coming to ask now, who designed it? Who created it? Whose story is this? And has that story been manipulated over the years? by various minorities, various individuals? Is it the same theme? Is it the same core story that there's a select few who are worthy and they must enjoy the benefits of being within that gold tier? But in order for the whole thing to stay together, for the whole thing to be coherent, the other tiers have to be told a story. And in that tale, in that story, in that myth, that magnificent lie, there is a perfect role for you. So perfect that you have been playing it since the day you were born.